Now you can
Black
respond.
women cannot be racist to white women. Are you kidding me?
Sorry?
That makes no sense.
Sorry?
Black women cannot be racist to white women. Do you not understand that?
Oh, yes,
I
they
understand
can.
You don't have the intellectual
Oh, yes, they
capacity
can.
to understand that.
Oh, yes,
but
they
that's
can.
Very much
and you've been
impossible.
racist to me.
That's very much
You've
impossible.
been racist to me, a white man, by saying I'm a race baiter. Yeah.
How am I racist to you? I'm black. I can't be racist to you.
You call me a race baiter with no evidence.
Racist to me.
When have I been a race baiter?
You could be racist to me.
When have I been a race baiter?
But I'm a powerhouse.
Tell me when I've been a race baiter.
I'm a powerhouse.
Well, you may be a powerhouse.
I understand something.
You may be a powerhouse. You may be a powerhouse.
Okay.
When have I been a race baiter?
I want you to admit that. Okay.
When have I been a race baiter?
Okay.
When have I been a race baiter?
Okay.
This is absurd.
No, hang on. Tell me,
Honey.
Blossom. Give me one example of me race baiting. Blossom, go.
I'm here at this point. I'm just here to talk about trans women in sports. I said what I said.
So you don't have anything, do you?
Repeat anything.
You called me a race baiter.
Black Democrats need a new playbook, guys. Their political messaging is not very effective. As you saw from the intro, you got this trans woman, aka fake woman, this fake black woman here, complaining about how black people can't be racist and all this nonsense. And I'm like, okay, you're using racism to justify your racism. Make it make sense. You're saying because of your skin color, you can't be something, you can't do something. It's impossible for you to be or do that thing, right? If I said black people can't be engineers, you'll call that a racist statement. But you saying black people can't be racist is make it make sense. Just using their race as an alibi. And this is something that I think is what's really driving black liberal fatigue, because people are getting tired of the messaging from black liberals, specifically the way they carry themselves, specifically like their whole shtick here is to make white people feel guilty about themselves. And I clapped hard as hell. Like, you couldn't see me when I was recording the clip, but I was happy that white people are calling the BS out, because I talked about this all day. If you go through my channel, if you go through the history of my channel, I talk about how white people should not feel ashamed about their race, and that the whole grasp of black power, it relies on white people being guilty. And I question black Democrats. I say, what happens when white people start feeling guilty about themselves? Y'all lose all y'all little political leverage that you have. All this ability to guilt trip, you lose it. And you'll see it here in this clip right here.
Do you know how many people Barack Obama deported in 8 years?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, why don't you guess?
I don't know and don't care.
Well,
you
hang
tell
on,
me.
hang on. You don't know and you don't care. You've just given me...
Because it's not the issue.
Hang on,
you're trying to make the issue the southern border.
Joy. You've just given me... Joy.
No, the point is...
Joy.
Barack Obama was not dragging women and
let me finish.
nursing babies apart and taking...
Joy. You've just given me...
I'm sure going to tell me it's your main issue.
You've just given me
but it's not my main issue. My main issue is that what we're seeing...
I'm trying to finish my sentence. You've just given me a lengthy monologue attacking Donald Trump's aggressive deportation policy. And I've simply said to you, there was a Democrat, a black Democrat president of the United States for 8 years. I'm simply asking, given that you're obviously all over every detail of the Trump deportation policy, and given you were on the airwaves in America on a daily basis through Obama's tenure, how many people did he deport in 8 years?
I do not know. You'll tell me, I'm sure.
Have a guess.
But it's probably more than 1 million people. I'm quite certain.
Have a
because
guess.
I think each 2 million.
Right, it was 3 million.
Okay. And your point being what?
My point being, are you as shocked by that as you are claiming to be by Trump?
It is not deportations
Many of them were brown.
That are shocking. Wait a minute. Can I answer your question?
The majority were brown.
The double standards is what I'm really getting at with this video, is that the whole stitch of the black Democrat, it seems to rely on double standards, right? They want to hold people to a different standard that they hold themselves. If a white person was saying all these disparaging things about black people and how they can't have an opinion, or black people crying is black fragility and all this ish, right? Racializing their emotions, you would call it a form of white supremacy. But when black people are doing it to white people or other groups of people, because black people, they think they're at the top of the victim totem pole, right? It's permissible because all of a sudden all the ills and stuff that black people has faced, when in reality, black people living today has not faced what has been historically kind of projected onto the American people. And I think them relying on this race issue, this identity politics playbook, is getting old and stale, like many of them.
way, denaturalizing. That's Idi Amin behavior. There's a black fascist that you can compare him to.
Let's move on to, I want to just play a clip of when you lost your job at MSNBC. Let's watch this.
My show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And you know, I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
One thing I talk about is how deceptive liberals are, how they manipulate. But this is the problem with black Democrats, especially the church-going black Democrat. They love to cry about how much of a victim they have it, how bad they have it in life. I'm tired. I'm tired of the excuses. All the bad outcomes that happen, you were a part of it. 50% of it is your fault. It ain't no one else's fault. And the false expectation that, you know, black Democrats have, and this is kind of the passivity that condition the black culture, is that they expect other groups of people to work hard on their behalf. Make that make sense. That's like me expecting the opposing team on a soccer field, basketball court, to do things in our team's best interest. Dumb. But, you know, we'll see what she says as a follow-up here.
Now, look, you're perfectly entitled to be proud of your show. Many people enjoyed your show for many years. You know, a lot of people at NBC were briefing that the reason was declining ratings post the election, a 47% decrease in your election, in ratings from pre-election. But you told Mark Lamont Hill on his show this.
After I said on my show that the reason Americans could relate to Ukrainians in a way that they didn't relate to Palestinians, that Ukrainians are white. And so watching white people get their schools bombed.
But you're of God. Would a godly person say that? I don't think so. And this is just my estimation. I don't think so. Right? The future is black and feminist. Huh? Black and feminist. Right. You seen feminism? Hey, 2025 has not been a good year for feminism. Right? And the future is black. Okay, what about black conservatives? I don't think you want them to be the future. This is the political messaging I'm talking about. This racialized, like, and she likes to cover news events in a racial lens. And I think a lot of people are tired of that. I think this is why she lost a large percentage of her viewers, because of this racialized kind of narratives that she likes to sow into her interpretations of the news stories, into her commentary. And I think one of the things that I think people are slowly getting tired of black liberals is that they make race their entire identity. They make race their end all be all. If they find one factor and it happens to be race, they think that's the end all be all of the entire story. Not their attitude, not their decisions, right? Not their own talents and abilities. No, it's because of their racism that they held back. This false expectation, this false perception that black people are perfect. Because that's the only way you can make an argument like that. Oh, the only reason there's disparities is because of racism. The only reason black people are at the bottom is because of systematic racism. That's a dumb excuse. Black people make bad decisions every day of the week. Black people tend to get into debt, tend to have bad credit, tend to not make financially sound decisions, tend to think more short-term than long-term. The stats bear that out. And stats don't prove a narrative, but it does show a result. The results of the actions and the decision-making of the black community as a whole, and the outcomes that they produce based on their decisions, based on their behavior as a community. That's how I see data. But these people, they see data as a way of sowing a narrative.
Was, you know, hit different. That hit our ratings. I mean, it definitely, we could see the loss of white viewers from that moment that I said that. So they were like, we don't like the name calling. And also I'm a black woman. So, I mean, I'm sure it makes him angrier, you know, when I say things. Maybe because I am a global South person myself, you know, I mean, as a black person, we have a different empathy toward other global South people when they are suffering.
I don't believe that, bro. A lot of the ways, like from a cultural aspect, if you look online, Black people could come across very self-centered, especially as a culture, right? We think we made everything. Oh, we made everything in Egypt. We made everything in that. And then when other groups of people call you out, right, or call us out saying, okay, if you built everything, why couldn't you build your communities up? Oh, white man kept stopping us. Like, excuses. Always got some excuse, right? Maybe you're picking back off the history of some other people, right? Like, but this is the kind of the claims that I don't believe her when she said that. Oh, we're more empathetic because we're black. No, it's just, hey, maybe black people, based on remember, behavior drives outcome, not your skin color. Maybe black people tend to be more charitable than other groups of people based on the actions, not their race. It's not because of their race they're more empathetic. It just so happens that a lot of empathetic people, black people, have a large percentage of them. Let's try it that way. Let's frame it that way, instead of leading with race. And I think this is what's causing division currently in our culture when it comes to race relations. And I think the way the Democrats are going about their messaging, going about their rhetoric, is making race relations worse. And you saw it from the intro, that trans person crying about how they can't be racist because of their skin color. Race is always an alibi for the black Democrat. And I think people are tired of that. Leading in with race, making race your whole... It's the same thing with the LGBTQ crowd. Your sexuality is your whole identity? Like, really? There's nothing... You're more than that. You're more than your sexuality. You're more than your race. And I think this is kind of the messaging that should be getting across to black Democrats. But it falls on deaf ears, I guess.
And so we're going to come at that story from a different angle and in a different way and with different kinds of empathies. And I think that's not always received very well in the news business.
Now, Joy, I mean, look, let's be honest. I don't think you were fired after all those years because of your skin colour or because you're a black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV. That's why you got let go. Why play the race card?
First of all, I love the fact that your play the race card is your version of the race card. You literally are so fixated on trying to racialize conversations with me, Piers, that I find it actually quite charming.
You racialize more conversations in your tenure at MSNBC
Exactly. You racialize every conversation. Like, look at the shirt that Lamont Hill had on. Black and feminist. Right? Y'all racialize everything. This is the problem with black Democrats. This is the problem. This is why they're losing support in the black community. Because black community, like, look, black people, we're sensible people. Hey, look, you doing wrong, you're doing wrong. Oh, look, they're treating me different because of my skin color. No, you're perceiving stuff differently because of your skin color. It's almost like you want privilege, black Democrats. It's like y'all want privilege. And y'all hate getting called. And that's the funny part. Democrats hate being called the very thing they accuse other races of people of being. Oh, Indians are racist. Hispanics are racist. White people are racist. Africans are racist. You blame racism on everybody. And then when everyone's like, nah, you racist. You assume you're a victim because of your skin color. You're the racist. You say you can't do something because of your skin color. You're the racist. When they get the accusation thrown right back at them, they can't stand it. Treat thy neighbor as you would treat yourself. If you wouldn't call yourself a racist, oh, you're taking me out of context. I didn't mean it that way, right? And liberals are feeling the taste of their own medicine. Anna Navarro just got a taste of it too. She tried to minimize someone's opinion because of his skin color and his sexuality and his gender, and she got called out for that. And liberals try to play cover for that because they perceive racist actions differently depending on the race of the individual. That in of itself is racist. Liberals, there's a stat out there that liberals are more likely to change the way they speak depending on the race of the audience that they're talking to. Isn't that racism? Isn't that racist? Treating someone differently because of the color of their skin, isn't that racist? But liberals don't want to, oh no, it's different. It's always different with a Democrat, huh?
All right, Mark. All right, Piers. And the bottom line is you take an entire conversation that I had with Mark Lamont Hill and pick the bits that you can racialize because this is your shtick. And I get that this is your shtick.
You racialize everything, Joy. Come on.
I get it. I understand this is your shtick, Piers. And listen, game recognizes the game. I get this is your game.
It's not my shtick.
And the bottom line.
It was yours.
Did it not come out of your mouth? No accountability. This is what I'm talking about. Using race as an alibi to get like a get out of jail free card. And people are tired of this tactic. This is why identity politics isn't an all-time low. Feminism, hey, look, I've been seeing some debates out here on feminism. Yo, feminists, y'all not really winning this culture thing like I think y'all are. Y'all getting destroyed out here. Black fatigue, the black ghetto fatigue, black liberal fatigue, whatever you want to call black fatigue. People are feeling it because people are tired of being mistreated by you as a racial group. And people are calling you guys out finally.
It's your stick, and everyone knows
your
that it
stick.
is. Piers, we
And people
understand
got bored
what
with
it is.
it.
And it is so interesting to me that you yourself, as a white European, find that when people of color talk about race, that you believe is racializing conversation.
And then when a black person, right, like me, right, like I talk about race and I talk about race in a way that black liberals don't like, you use the same argument too. Oh, you're internalizing whiteism, huh? How's holding my people accountable for their bad decision making as a group internalizing white racism, white supremacy? Stupid, dumb. So you think anyone who disagree with you is pushing white supremacy? Racializing my motives, racializing everything, using race as an alibi for everything. Even when black people criticize other black people, you use white people as an out. Make it make sense. People are tired of the victimhood. Black people are tired of the victimhood. We're tired of the pity party, especially from millennial blacks and Gen Z blacks. What struggle you face? Out of all the generations, we're considered the most privileged one. But we're crying the most about it. Make it make sense. You got white women suing Starbucks and winning millions of dollars because they're being fired because of the color of their skin. White women. But where's the stories for black people doing that? Black people always facing racism. But you don't cash in on it? You don't hold people accountable for it? Hoax, always. Crying victim. People are tired of the victim narratives, victim mentality, and the victimhood. Stop it. Get some help.
But when people like you fixate on, well, Barack Obama was a black president, why don't you object to that? That is racializing a conversation about the former president of the United States. But you can't put your, and I'm sure you find that charming and funny.
I find it
You
hilarious
cannot
because
see
you're the
your
one.
own-
You're
Well,
the one
you
who said
and your
you're
friend
the one who
Trump,
said Donald Trump.
You and your friend Donald
You
Trump.
said Donald
you and
Trump
your
is a
friend
white
Donald Trump
fascist.
Are so he is a well. I agree
And
with
yet
Mark
when Obama
Milley,
did the
who
same
is,
thing,
last time I checked, is
I'm not allowed
black.
to mention his skin
I
color.
agree with his former chief of staff, who last I checked was not black and said he's fascist. And Mark Milley said he's fascist to the core.
Okay.
So I happen to agree, and I know this is what it's important to you, with two very white gentlemen about Donald Trump's fascist tendencies.
Okay.
If that makes you sad and uncomfortable, I can't help you.
No,
Piers.
yes, it
There's
made me
nothing
sad
I
and
can do about
uncomfortable.
it.
I think it makes you a little bit of a hypocrite, but that
And projection too. Oh, you're sad in this projection. They always got to project intent onto other people when secretly it's them all along who's doing the very thing they accuse you of doing. The liberal projection fallacy. And these people who pretend like they want to solve race, oh, we never bring race into anything. You came in here, you call him a white European man. He is a white European man, by the way, but you pointed that out. Why? Because you wanted to use that as a way to either obfuscate, play down, ignore, dismiss, use it as an excuse, an alibi to shield yourself from criticism, to shield your, to not own up to the accountability of your tendencies to racialize. Like, all you got to do is go back to past clips of Joy Reid. Every news story, everything, she always bring a racial angle to it. And you wonder why people are tired of hearing the race hustlers. You wonder why Ibram X. Kendi lost his institution trying to prove racism, but he can't prove a damn thing. Current discrimination is a cure for past discrimination, but it's not racism. Y'all not pushing racism. Y'all need an update. Black liberals, black progressives, black leftists, y'all need an update because this political messaging, it's not appealing anymore. Actually, it never was, but people feel like they had to, hear you out because you rely on white guilt. Black power can only survive with white guilt. That's the angle of the black Democrat. While black conservatives are pushing, hey, be able to stand on your own. Stop seeking the validation of other racial groups. Stop expecting other racial groups to come and help you clean up your mess that you put yourself in as a community, by the way. That's why I'll put in. No one forced y'all to vote Democrat. No one forced y'all to take welfare and Section 8 that incentivize laziness and helplessness in your communities, right? These are actions and decisions that the black community made. And only the actions and decisions of the black community will change it. No matter external help or sympathy or validation is ever going to change that. But, I digress. Let me know your thoughts and perspective in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you feel so inclined. It really does help me on the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.